right, hey, drawing 2 and 3. We're going to get going on some sketches on our blue period or our expressive sketches. So what I'm looking at, I found 2 objects in my classroom. One is a jelly bean dispenser, and I chose that because it was my kids, and I wanted something that maybe had a little bit of meaning, but also fun shape. And then I found this plant that is in the classroom. It's hard to show that all in one, but I really liked the transparency of the glass. I felt that could really help pull out some of the qualities of the work. And then also the plant itself reminded me of a lot of Franz Marc's work with the floral and the human animal behavior characteristics. So I'm going to play around with a couple sketches here. And this is what I would want you to do in your sketchbook. I'm going to draw a couple sketches. Actually, I had given you guys a note card in your pack, your supply pack. I like to use those note cards as a way of sketching a composition, just like this. So if you're wondering why you got that, that is why. And really, I probably should have had you make your viewfinder, but we will work with that. I forgot I included those. So I'm going to make a couple compositions using an Altoids container, making horizontal and vertical sketch formats, and messing around with these. Now, if I don't like any of these, I can flip it over and do a different thing. So I'm going to start with this bubble gum, or this gum dispenser. And you could work symmetrical or asymmetrical. For this, I'm going to work asymmetrical. I feel like the style naturally kind of looked like it was an asymmetrical balance. And I also feel like they frequently filled that composition with images that kind of expanded past. I'm trying to think how this is drawn. I haven't drawn a gumball dispenser in a long time. So I'm not a fan of all that empty space. So what I'm actually going to do is make that a little bit bigger. That's why these are sketches. Notice that took about 1 to 2 minutes to create. And so now I can kind of reformula this space and see if maybe I like that a little bit better. Of course, the detail don't really matter right now, but I'm just trying to figure out how I'll use this space. I feel like that jar could be a little bigger. And then what I could do is add in the background. And then, of course, there's a cast shadow, which could be very fun to work with. And then I could even add in, I could go to the store and add in some gumballs if I wanted. That could bring a pop of color, repetition, pattern. So that's one. If I draw it this way, you'll notice that what's going to happen is I probably am going to run off the page. So I don't think that this object is really made for a horizontal composition, unless I maybe want to fill that jar, which I don't. I don't want that to be too full there. So the gumball dispenser probably is made more for this type of composition. Now let's go to this other one. I have a jar. Let me sketch this little rectangular jar. And then in it is 2 plants. And I don't need to really pay a close attention to the different parts of the leaves, just so you know, like these splits and splices, those are all for the drawing. I'm just using it for composition planning. And again, I see kind of a shadow drifting. And then I could put like a background back there. That's okay, but I feel like, once again, for my specific objects, they're very long. So let's try this. Let's try it slightly again off to the side. And I am just going to quickly draw that little jar in. Notice how I made it. I started with like a symmetrical That way I just draw like that box really fast. And then I have a leaf coming up. I think I'm going to like this one a lot better, and it kind of fills right there. Then I see one coming this way, and oops, okay. So now I feel like maybe that composition, there we go. So I probably started it too small, and look, it went right down the middle. It's not what I wanted, but that's okay. I do like having that leaf in there. I just think maybe trying to reformat this, which is what you just have to do once you get that sketch in there. So I actually really like that. I've done 4 sketches, but let me go ahead and do another. I'm going to take an object that I haven't used yet, and I'm going to use hand sanitizer. And I'm going to create a composition with hand sanitizer because number 1, I want to make sure that I enjoy this project. Number 2, I want it to have a little bit of voice, a little bit of like a time capsule. So the group that we're following looked at objects as meaningful ways to express what was going on and share their emotions with society and the world looking at their art. So hand sanitizer might just end up being that type of object. So here's just kind of a sketch. Once again, a sketch should not take longer than like a minute. You know, it's just a brief vision of what you would want. Squirt. Then we would use expressive color. Now there's a lot of empty space back here, so I could work with that and maybe even bring this in. There we go. I like that better. So just again reformatting that view. So a couple different things to think about: composition, horizontal, vertical, objects, a variety of different objects. They're going to get you really going. I do like this one too. I might just end up doing both and turning in my favorite project. Who knows? So you guys get sketching, have some fun. You're going to put these onto Schoology to share with me, and I will look at them and hopefully help you figure out which one is best.